Welcome back to Gaelic Games Fan TV. Donegal 123, Louth 18 points. Donegal are into the All-Ireland semi-finals for the first time since 2014, and a very comfortable win in the end versus Louth, an 8-point win for the Donegal men. The Louth fairy tale comes to the end. Obviously, the very first time they had played in an All-Ireland quarter-final. They have, of course, played in All-Ireland semi-finals and finals, and, of course, even won All-Irelands in the past. But, of course, that was a long, long time ago. And since the introduction of All-Ireland quarterfinals, this was the very first one that Louth have played in. And to be fair to Louth, I thought they gave everything. I thought they couldn't have given more. Like, to score 18 points against what is a very good Donegal side, very well set up defensively. Like, for Louth to score 18 points, I still think is quite impressive. Like, they scored more points than what either Dublin or Galway scored yesterday, as an example. And it was a different game. Look, Donegal did leave space at times for Louth to attack. But I thought overall Louth gave everything they could. They couldn't have given much more. But Donegal were absolutely brilliant. Like, incredibly clinical. Arguably the fittest team in the country as well, in my opinion. Like, some of the challenges, the blocks that they were getting in towards the end of the game, the way they moved the ball was absolutely outstanding. I think they kicked just 3 wides in the game. I think they might have dropped 1 short, obviously, as well. So I think overall, Donegal were absolutely brilliant today. They were absolutely brilliant. They played some incredible football. Sorry, something stuck in my throat there. But Donegal were absolutely brilliant. Incredibly clinical, incredibly fit. And Louth just didn't have an answer for them. They just did not have an answer for them. And I think you have to give Donegal a huge amount of credit for how they played today. Oisín Gallen, outstanding, 4 points from him. Kieran Thompson with 2, Micheál Langan with 3 points. You've got Kieran Moore, who I think has been a brilliant addition to the side. He scored 2 points as well. Peadar Mogan with 5 points in at wing back. So Donegal, look, they always had Louth at arm's length. You always felt like they were going to win the game. A few moments maybe in the first half where Louth were coming back into it. They brought it back, obviously, to 3 at halftime. They obviously brought it back to a 1-point game at one stage as well. But you always felt like Donegal were better. They always had Louth at arm's length. Like, aside from Samuel Roy, Ryan Burns obviously with 2 points as well from corner forward. Louth couldn't really get their other forwards in the game. Nothing from Conor Grimes. Nothing from Kieran Keenan as well. Tommy Dernan, who, to be fair, had a cracker of a game, 4 points from midfield. Absolutely outstanding stuff from his point of view. Craig Lennon with a point as well. But Donegal just so clinical. Like the speed at which they moved the ball with as well. Like, Louth were obviously pushing up more and more so that the more the game went on, and Donegal were able to obviously pick them apart on the counter-attack very, very efficiently. And obviously the goal by Owen Ban Gallagher. Like, obviously Patrick McBrearty hitting the post, and Ban Gallagher obviously following in with the goal as well. And yeah, like, I suppose for Louth, you have to give them a huge amount of credit for getting to a quarter-final, for coming as far as this. But Donegal are the real deal, lads. They really, really are. Like, they were absolutely brilliant. And I think the All-Ireland is anyone's really from here. Like, obviously the Derry and Kerry game is thrown in a couple of minutes' time. We'll probably know a lot more after that. I think the favourite might come from that game, from the winner of that game, in all honesty. But I think it's anyone's, really. Like, I think Galway have a chance. I think Armagh have a chance. And I think Donegal have got a brilliant chance now as well. Like, I mean, the efficiency of their shooting, absolutely incredible stuff. Like, fitness-wise, I think they're absolutely brilliant as well. As I said before, I think they're arguably the fittest team in the country. And there's no one that they'll fear, whether it be Kerry, Derry, Armagh, Galway. Like, they won't fear any of those teams. And I think Donegal have more than a chance at winning the All-Ireland this year. I think they definitely, look, they're obviously already contenders. I mean, you don't get to a semi-final if you're not a contender. But, like, you could arguably start making a case for them now to go all the way and win it. And I think, for myself, quietly now with Dublin not there, I'd nearly start to fancy Donegal. Obviously, we'll learn more when the Derry-Kerry game happens, and we'll certainly know more at full time of that match. Like, if Kerry go out and absolutely hammer Derry, or vice versa, it'd be very, very hard to look past either one of them two, in all honesty. So, we'll see obviously what happens in the game. But yeah, brilliant from Donegal. Like, for Jim McGuinness to come in, to think of where Donegal were last season, beaten in the preliminary rounds, beaten in the Ulster Championship by Down. Jim McGuinness has come in, got them promoted from Division 2 as champions, won the Ulster Championship, and now they're in the All-Ireland semi-finals. I mean, an incredible turnaround from Jim McGuinness, and they have some phenomenal forwards, obviously, as well. We know what Patrick McBrearty can give, but Oisin Gallen's come on leaps and bounds. Kieran Thompson, absolutely brilliant as well. They're getting options from the bench. Aaron Doherty, Jamie Brennan, both obviously scoring as well. So I think Donegal are dangerous from here. They're very, very dangerous. I think they could be a team that could go all the way. And for Louth, I think this just was a case of a step too far. They come up against a very, very good Donegal side today. I think they can be very proud of their year. You know, like came within 4 points of Dublin in the Leinster final. Obviously got through their group as well. Won the preliminary round versus Cork. And even in this game, like they only lost by 8 on a day where Donegal, I think, kicked 3 wides. Do you know what I mean? So you can't really blame Louth today. Could they have arguably gotten more from Conor Grimes, Kieran Keenan? Maybe, but at the same time, they scored 18 points, and 18 points more often than not would be enough to win you a game of football. So, yeah, I think, and even just looking at it, like Kieran Byrne, to be fair, came off the bench and scored 2 points. Connor Early, Liam Jackson, both coming off the bench and scoring as well. So, yeah, like overall, I don't think Louth could have given anything else. I don't think they could have given more. And like arguably, when you look at the decline of Dublin, which, like, don't get me wrong, Dublin, like there's young players there, like they'll still go on and win the Leinster Championship for the next couple of years, in my opinion. But Louth could be closing the gap, and it'd be interesting to see what happens with Ger Brennan as well. You know, like if Desi Farrell leaves Dublin, could Ger Brennan be on his way to Dublin? You know, like it's a genuine question. It could actually happen. And if Ger Brennan goes to Dublin, you know where does that leave Louth? So, but then again, we would have thought that last year when Mickey Hart left, they'll probably go and get someone else who's just as good. So, yeah, there's a lot of question marks over Louth. Very, very great year for them to get to a quarter final. And honestly, looking at Division 2 next year, I think there's a strong. I think Louth can really push to get out of Division 2. I think they can contend in that division. I think they could push to get out of it. I don't think they're a million miles off promotion, in my opinion. So I think, you know, very, very positive signs for Louth in the future. Obviously, you do have veterans in Samuel Roy, Conor Grimes, Bevan Duffy, obviously, as well. But you have young lads coming in into the team as well who are making the side better. The under-20s had a very good season as well. So I think there is positives for Louth football, no doubt about it, going into the future. But for Donegal, they are the real deal. We knew that before the game. They were expected to win this game, and they did do it, and they did it fairly comfortably as well. And look, their efficiency in front of goal was off the charts, absolutely off the charts. 3 wides in the entire game, I think it was. I think they dropped 1 or 2 short, but absolutely brilliant for Donegal. Like so many different scores, like Oisin Gallen, Kieran Thompson, Roy McHugh. You've got Conor O'Donnell getting on the score sheet with a couple of points as well. They have a whole host of options, and Jim McGuinness has this team bang up for it, well drilled. There was no complacency today. There was no taking their eye off the ball. Is there still a bit of vulnerabilities defensively? I think there is. We saw Cork obviously exploit that a little bit. Louth scored 18 points today. So there is something still for Donegal to work on. You feel like better teams, you know, the likes of one of Kerry, Derry, whoever comes through that game, Donegal, Armagh. Like you feel like these teams will punish Donegal more so than what Louth did today. But at the same time, Donegal are looking very, very good, very, very strong. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they get on from here. Obviously, the Kerry Derry game has started, so I'm going to go back and watch that. And yeah, anyone who tuned in, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Man of the match for me, Panner Mogan, 5 points, absolutely brilliant. I think all of which were from play as well, outstanding from his perspective. And yeah, Donegal looking very, very strong. Certainly, I mean, they're contenders, there's no doubt about that. Are they now a favourite? You know, it's anyone's game. It's anyone's game from here. And I think Donegal should definitely be a team that people should start saying can win the All-Ireland from here. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the game. Comments and everything else will be live after the Kerry Derry game. Looking forward to that. So until then, speak to you all soon.